What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ash. I am back. Happy Saturday. I'm coming to you guys today with my review of the latest My Hero Academia chapter 276. And this is a good chapter to get a lot of insight on the My Hero Academia universe here. We start this chapter off with a newscaster going around all the damage of the city so far. And it's been a crazy situation. Finally, the citizens are starting to be aware of what's going on. The news is starting to broadcast it. And we get a lot of insight to what people are feeling about all the situations with the villains and the heroes going along. And we get that later in the chapter as well with Gran Torino. So it was a really good chapter to kind of get a feel for how the situation is going and what people are thinking of the heroes now that All Might is no longer the sense of protection, the hero that every villain fears. He was that shining light that kind of kept everyone's hopes up. But now, ever since he retired and things have been going worse and worse and worse, event after event has been going on, seems like the citizens, seems like the news are kind of getting a little nervous and not as much and don't have as much trust in the heroes as they once did. So really interesting chapter to get a lot of perspective on what they were thinking. So we did start this chapter off with the news helicopter broadcasting the damage of the city so far that Shigaraki has caused, along with other villains and the battle with the heroes. So we later in the chapter get to see that a huge amount of this city has been destroyed, from the hospital outwards to the forest and in towards the major city as well. So a crazy amount of damage has been done. You can't blame the citizens and the other news for bringing this up to attention of what's going on after the All for One attack that had destroyed the city years ago. I think it was a year ago in this event timeline of the story. So yeah, a lot of damage has been done, and they haven't done much to really slow it down. Even the battle with the Nomu and Endeavor really messed up a whole block or city as well. So crazy things going on. So the news is broadcasting, and we get to cut to a scene of All Might with Eri, which was really cute. Eri's in his lap, and All Might's like sweating. He's in his weak form. And there's not much he can do. He can't participate in the fights anymore. He just doesn't have his power. So this is really the first major event besides the Nomu that All Might had to sit on the sideline and just watch, which is crazy to see, but that's where we are in the story now. So we cut to different people kind of going along that aren't really paying attention to the news. We see Deku's mom, we see Todoroki's sister, brother, and mom as well, along with Kachan, Bakugo's mom as well. So we cut to the different families, which is made me really nervous as I was reading the chapter, why we were seeing these people's parents, like something bad was going to happen to them or to the students. So that made me nervous, but luckily nothing terrible happened yet, which is crazy to think about, but it was good to see them. So as we move on through the chapter, we got to see them, and then we cut to All for One in the prison. He has this dastardly smile as soon as the broadcaster says, "What is happening in Japan?" And you see All for One just with this dastardly smile on his face. So every plan he had to make Shigaraki the leader of the villain association, to make him the chosen one, the villain king, as it's said in this chapter, looks like all is going according to plan. So All for One's got to be in a happy situation, happy mood, that everything is getting destroyed with his disciples. So really interesting to see his smile. I'm looking at it right now. And even chained up in all of his stuff with the breathing mask, he still looks so creepy. So he's a great villain. He does his job. But as we move down, we cut back to the heroes. Gran Torino just scooped up Kachan and Deku, and he's getting them out of this situation because last week they had the hand of death coming at them with Shigaraki, and the whole thing went black and it looked like they were about to die. They saw themselves crumble away. So luckily Gran Torino, despite his age, it's so cool to see Gran Torino so involved in the story. His knowledge is so useful to the other heroes, and he's always saving someone. He's always around. His power is so unique. So Gran Torino is such an OG. He's awesome. I love Gran Torino. I love his role in the story. So I hope that continues. I hope he doesn't get any major damage and continues to help Deku along until Deku can finally take over and protect himself and other people. So Gran Torino, you're a legend. Thanks for saving the boys again. But as Gran Torino scoops the boys away, Endeavor and Ryuku are battling Shigaraki, and Ryuku slaps Shigaraki into the air, and Endeavor asks his sidekick, and I want to say it's Kaido. I think that's how it's spelled. If One Piece fans, Kaido is such a major person. Maybe Horikoshi brought him into the story for that. I don't know, but really cool. So Kaido is one of Endeavor's sidekicks, and he has the quirk Traject. So he's dressed like a mummy, and he uses his mummy wraps to kind of make circles for people to fly through or walk through, and he can project items in motion or people in motion. So he redirects Endeavor through his circle thing, and Endeavor immediately turns his body and goes upwards towards Shigaraki, and it really propels him to get up there as fast as he can, and you see him stop as soon as he gets to Shigaraki's height, which is crazy. So really cool that we get to meet another character, Kaido. He's got the quirk Traject, so really cool. And I really like his design. He looks like a mummy. You can see his eyes, but he's still got clothes over his mummy wraps. So I really liked Kaido. Kaido really looks cool. But as he starts, or Endeavor punches Shigaraki in the middle of the air, we see something crazy. So it looks like he does a lot of damage to Shigaraki in this moment here. He unleashes a huge fire blast, and it looks awesome, but we see Shigaraki is kind of like avoiding it. That's what we thought. But we later find out that Shigaraki's body was manipulated by the doctor to be strong, just like the Nomu that showed up at UA, the perfect Nomu that fought All Might. So an enhanced Nomu with muscles that even if its quirks are being negated, like Eraserhead is doing to Shigaraki, his physical strength is so overwhelming that he can hold his own. And we find out that the jump that Shigaraki did to get towards Deku, and then the big explosion he did by swinging his arm, was all just his physical strength, which is unreal. He's so strong. And we see his body really up close for the first time, and he is jacked, like ripped. He's got muscles everywhere, and his arms are looking like tanks. He's huge. He's holding off Endeavor's fire burst attack with one hand, and despite being burnt up, he doesn't look like it's bothering him at all. He's totally fine. He's just like, yep, whatever, Endeavor, I'm too good for you. So that was crazy. And we pan over to Eraserhead, and he has one crushed leg, and I don't remember seeing, we did see him. We did see his leg get crushed by the Nomu, and that's when Crust was killed. So RIP to Crust, but he's got his hurt leg, and Manuel is helping Eraserhead out by bringing him along and slowly adding water to his moisture to Eraserhead's eyes so he can keep his eyes open, but not enough to make him blink or flood his eyes. So really cool use of Manuel's powers to use the water as he's done to keep Eraserhead's eyes open and keep him moist so he can keep his eyes open and keep him fixated on Shigaraki. So it's cool to see Manuel back into the story and being useful to the other heroes, which is really cool. So that was a really good scene, but Shigaraki blocks Endeavor's attack and then punches him into Ryuko, and they land on the ground really hard. And that was a really cool scene because as we see that, we hear, so how's this done, Endeavor? Is it this hand or what? And we see Shigaraki standing on top of Ryuko and on top of Endeavor with his hand up, just like All Might did after he beat All For One, and just like Endeavor did after he defeated the Nomu. It's the hero stance to show that they won, that victory was theirs, and he's kind of putting that to shame. He's kind of making fun of it because he's got his arm up. The other arm is burnt, which is crazy, and he's kind of giving them a hard time. So Endeavor didn't appreciate that. He gets him off of him by shooting another fire blast, but it looks like Ryuko got a lot of damage. She was below Endeavor in that hit, so we're going to see what happens to Ryuko. We don't really find out, but that was an intense scene. Also, I almost missed it. At the start of this episode, or not episode, but at the start of this chapter, we see Shigaraki. It looked like he was making a phone call, and he says, kill everyone you see, or kill everyone in your path. And I didn't know who he was talking to until we find out later in the chapter. So as the other heroes are starting to approach and help out, Gran Torino kind of is talking about that this oversaturated hero society is fighting one villain, and they need to be able to handle this. And if they don't, then what's the point of having all these heroes? And as he's talking about it, all these heroes are coming to help out. They're creating a perimeter. And the one that Shigaraki was talking to, the people he was talking to, were the Nomus, he has a word for it. Their doctor did. He calls them, what is it called? Near high ends. That's what it was. He calls them near high end Nomus. And Shigaraki, now that he can control his decay, had activated the near high end Nomus to come out. And he was able to not affect the Nomu capsules with his decay. So a few of them, it looks like 5 or 6 of them, were able to survive. And these things look interesting. There's one with like his jaw open, but his brain has like eyes on it. That one looks cool. There's one that looks like a wolf or like a fox dog thing. There's other one that looks like a brute, other one with wings. I mean, they're really, really cool design Nomus. They're really, really cool. One has like just spikes all the way down its face, which is crazy. So, and the face that Gran Torino, Deku, and Bakugo make when they see the Nomus running is priceless. Super, super good. I'm glad a little bit of comedy made it into this chapter, because really this chapter was all downside for the heroes. Not a lot of good things happened at all for them. So it was good to kind of see them react that way. But yeah, it's a dire situation. So near high-end Nomus versus the heroes. That'll be an interesting fight. I think the near high-end Nomus have an advantage because they're so strong. Because they have no sense of themselves. They will just kill whatever Shigaraki tells them to. They listen to orders. They don't have a mind of their own. So they're just going to do what they were ordered. And they were ordered to kill anyone in their path. So we'll see how that goes for the heroes. That's a battle that's coming up soon. So I'm excited for that. But as Gran Torino makes his way back to help out Eraserhead to keep him out of the Nomu's way, Shigaraki all of a sudden makes a bolt for Eraserhead. And this is where we got nervous, because I said Eraserhead is not allowed to die in this arc or ever. Eraserhead is one of my favorite characters. Eventually, he could die protecting Deku at a later time, but it's just not now. It's too soon. He needs to be able to help Deku and Kacchan grow, watch over Class 1A. And that's what he says. He is being attacked. He's getting rushed by Shigaraki. He says, "You better keep your eyes on me." And he says, "Eraserhead, you're in my way." And Eraserhead suddenly has a flashback. He's like, "No, this can't be it. I cannot die. I have to watch over my class, my students. I cannot let them be on their own." So we're starting to see the deep relationship that Eraserhead has built with students and Class 1A, and how deep it goes and how well they've gotten along despite all the hard times, despite all the hardships, and possibly failing them in the first week that they met him. Their bond is so deep right now, and they love each other. Truly, they love each other. So it was really, really cool to see that in these troubling moments, that's who he went to. He really, really wants to protect his students no matter what. So that was really cool. It was very heartfelt. I love Eraserhead, so I'm really, really happy that they've built such a good bond right now. And as he's doing that, he's about to rush Shigaraki, and Shigaraki looks like he's ready to kill Eraserhead. And I really, really thought for a second that it might happen, that he might die in this chapter, lose an arm, or get blasted in the stomach, kind of like Night Eye. So something terrible was going to happen. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see Deku show up, full cowling, and grabs Shigaraki and pushes him out of the way and takes him off. And you see Bakugo right behind him, eyes all white, ready to blast him away. What a combination that's coming their way. And that's where the chapter ends, with Deku and Bakugo doing a duo attack on Shigaraki, and they're there to protect their teacher. So, so cool. It was good to see that the students have just as much love for Eraserhead as Eraserhead loves his students. So that was really cool. And they have a flashback of all the things Eraserhead has done for them, taking the blame for them sneaking out of the way, addressing the media, saving them at UA during the invasion of the villains. So many cool events. Eraserhead has stuck his neck out for the students more than once, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next chapter of the other students of 1A came to their teachers, their senseis, aid. If Lita and Ochako and all the other students, Todoroki, come to help out and they protect Eraserhead as he uses his power, which would be such a cool scene to see. Class 1A against Shigaraki, holding him off until the other heroes can show up and take over. And obviously Shigaraki's not going to be defeated in this arc, but if he gets pushed away and is meant to draw back and regroup his forces, and Class 1A and the other heroes can regroup and lick their wounds a little bit and get ready for the next battle, I think that'd be a great way to see this arc end. I don't think it's going to end that way. I think Deku and Kacchan may have to deal with this on their own until the other heroes show up, or Endeavor or someone comes to help. But I really, really would like to see the Class 1A against Shigaraki. I think that would be such a fun thing to see, to kind of see how they attempt to kind of show off their powers, to kind of show that they're growing, that they're not only just students anymore, that they're becoming heroes. So that'd be really cool to see. So that's where we are. There is a chapter next week. day after the 4th of July, which would be really cool. So I'm excited for that one here. Awesome, and I cannot wait to see Bakugo and Deku against Shigaraki. As Bakugo says, it's our turn to take the fight on. So I cannot wait. Such a cool chapter. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Comment below with your thoughts on the chapter. Where do you think this is going to go? How do you think this arc is going to end? It's been a really, really fun arc. A lot of action. So I appreciate all of that. I cannot wait to see how it ends. So don't forget to comment, like, hit that bell for more videos, guys. That's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next week for my next review of My Hero Academia, Chapter 277. Peace. Have a fantastic day, everybody.